Hey there, everyone. My name is Janelle Summers, and this is the Team Hardcore Training Call. Today is June 15th, so we're halfway through the month, and I hope that you realize you've got the rest of the month, even if you feel like, you've been on some vacations or you've kind of put this off your, on the back burner. There's still time to make this month amazing and help a lot of people. And this is the training that I think, I say this a lot, but dude, I really think this training is going to be one where you're like, OMG, like this is going to save me so much time and make a huge difference in my business. And I only say that because recently I've heard from coaches who have said that about this specific process. And it's so new to me that it's not a process or system that I have used, but I'm going to start using it. And so I turned to someone to do this training that does such a good job with this stuff. And I said to Hannah, I was like, Hannah, I could do this training. I totally can, but I know that it'll take me longer just because I don't do forms as much. I have a website manager, I have Hannah, I have my husband, I have people that help me do things. And I recommend you do that too. Like if you're not super fast with things, like I consider myself tech savvy, but if you're not in the habit of doing things on a regular basis or you're not super tech savvy, hire it out. You guys all know someone in your life that is really tech savvy that you could say, hey, I've got a project for you. What would you charge if I asked you to create these 2 forms or whatever? And maybe you make a couple forms for, your challenge groups. Maybe you make one, for your free groups, and maybe you make one for your joining your team, whatever. But these are the types of things that once you have them in place, they pay off huge. So please listen closely. I'm so excited to introduce to you today. First of all, let me tell you the topic of our training. Hopefully you know it is how to create 2 forms that could save you hours and hours of time in your business. And not only that, I'm all about saving time, but I want it to still be effective. I want the person on the other end to still have the same experience. And I really feel like with this one, when I evaluate it, when I heard from other people, that not only does it save us time and frustrations from kind of going back and forth, but the person on the other end feels that same way. Like it saves them time and them frustration, and they feel like they've been taken care of, and they feel good about the process. So I'm all about this, and I'm all about doing this training. So with that, I'm going to introduce to you Hannah, who I just completely adore. Hannah. She knows that. She's like my right-hand woman, per se. And I really think she's the best one to do this training. She's a 1-star diamond, the type of person that, I brainstorm with all the time. I really get great ideas from her, and I go to her for advice, and we go back and forth, and as well as my husband. And she's like my success partner. And she really has such a good perspective on this whole business. 1-star, yes, but I feel like, she's like, potential 15-star for sure. Like she knows her stuff. So she's 1-star diamond, and she is a Success Club All-Star, of course. So, and she's also a soon-to-be mom. She's expecting. So we're very excited about that too. So with that, Hannah, are you there?
Yes.
I forgot to say your wife too.
Oh yeah, that too.
That too.
All right, so I am gonna jump in and share my screen, but thank you so much, Janelle. I'm really excited about this. I was super nervous when you were like, I really think you should do this, but then I was like, I think I can do it. Like, I know I just need to jump in, and I know that you guys are also supportive, and I really, really hope that this is an awesome takeaway for you. Janelle never gives trainings that don't have amazing takeaways. So I hope that this gives you like action steps that you can do today where you're like, oh, thank you. I'm so excited. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen, and hopefully
I'll let you know if you can see it. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to share my entire screen. So I think that will make it a lot easier. Ooh, everything's going crazy.
It does for a second. It always does that. I see it perfectly.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna start, guys. So I only have like 4 slides, so it's super easy. And I just have to give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer because I have not done this exact process. This is something that Janelle shared in our her personally sponsored coach page yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And so it's based on an awesome tip shared by Brooke. Is it Lipoff? Is it Lipoff? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure on the pronunciation of her last name, to be honest. I don't know if it's Lipoff or Lipoff. And I don't know her personally, but like I said, she's already at Success Club 44, I think she said, for the month. And my coach, Corey Miller, had said that she's been using this for the last couple of weeks, and she hit Success Club like faster than ever. And out of like 15 people that she sent the link to, and of course went through this similar process, she's already had 3 people that have committed and purchased. So Success Club 6 already.
That's awesome. Okay. So I'm really excited about this. So I just wanted to kind of do that disclaimer and let you guys know that this has been tested. And I'm just kind of duplicating her explanation and teaching you guys how to make the forms. So this is kind of my little 8-step process. So you're going to create a challenge group form. It doesn't matter what system you use to create a form. I'm more familiar with Google Forms. Janelle has a really awesome training on Jotform. Brooke said that she uses Typeform, which I am not familiar with, but definitely look into it if you think it might be easier for you. And then number 2, post your call to action, respond via personal message. And I'll go through these obviously more in depth. But then you're going to create a PDF based on their responses. So, and I recommend creating that ahead of time, of course, as a template. So basically we're going to stick with step number 1 and step number 4 with what I'm teaching you guys today. And then you can kind of take a screenshot, or I'll share these slides with Janelle too, so you know what's coming next. So I'm going to move on to the next one. So number 1 is creating your challenge group form. So a lot of people, I was kind of going through the comments, and everyone's like, well, what questions do I ask? How do I know, when to send it, and those sort of things. Honestly, you have to make it your own. And I think Janelle wanted to mention this as well. But some of the questions you're going to frame differently because you run your groups differently. And because you're not all coaches are the same, and that's the amazing part of being a coach. So don't feel, actually, I highly, highly recommend not ever copying anything word for word, because it won't work for you because you're a different person. So I just kind of put sample questions to ask on the side where you guys can kind of save those. And a lot of these are based on what Brooke shared, and I'll kind of show you, it'll all come together when you see her form and then the form I made that kind of duplicates that. So, obviously you want to get their email. So name, email, location, whether they're in the US, Canada, maybe they're in the UK and you're getting names ahead of time. That's an awesome idea. But make sure you have their email, because you're going to want to send the PDF, which is step 4. You're going to want to send that via email. I always ask people if they have a coach that they're working with. Just like we do in our daily conversations when we're inviting people and talking to them, we ask them their goals, we ask them their obstacles, we ask them what motivates them. So it's not really like, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're just putting it all in one place, all in one form, so that you can streamline the process and so that they still feel completely supported and they feel like you're super organized too. I'm not a super organized person, and so I think it's always nice to have a system in place when, to help you feel more organized as well. Okay, so make it your own, obviously, and then I'm going to screen share really quick. Can you let me know if this switches over, Janelle?
Sure, it does.
Okay, so these are Google Forms that I've created. You don't have to worry about that. I want to show you how to do a Google form really quick, and then a couple little tips that helped me in the beginning, because I was like, how the heck do I do this? So I love creating forms. I don't know if you can tell, but you're going to start with a blank form, and you can keep it this color. One thing that I don't like, which I know probably like most of you don't care, but you go up here into the right-hand side and you go to color palette. So you can change your color palette. You can also, you can upload your own photo. I can't remember the exact dimensions, but it's obviously like a very thin line, so it's not going to share your whole photo. But your color palette will adjust based on whatever photo you share. So I'm going to show mine, just kind of give you an example. So like I created something with like teal, or I don't know, aqua, whatever that is at the top, and that changed the color. So you can't really adjust your color after you put in a photo, which bugs me, but probably doesn't bug anybody else. So, okay, so you're going to you're gonna see exactly this when you go to create your Google form. And you can title it however you want. I'm not gonna go through like every single thing, but I wanna show you a couple tricks. So when you add your form description, you can kind of explain either how your groups work or maybe how groups have benefited you. You're gonna ask your questions. Let's see, so over here on the right-hand side, you can click add question. And maybe you wanna know, I don't know, maybe you wanna do check boxes and have them like select all that apply to them. And so you can adapt the type of question depending on what you wanna see. So you can even do date, anything like that. So you kind of see and play around with it depending on what questions you wanna ask. And so I'll go in and show you kind of what I did. So I did my little explanation. I wanted their name, their best email address, where they live, their fitness level, any programs, have they tried Shakeology? I always ask if they have a coach, how do they find me? Because I just want to kind of know where people are coming from. You do not, I have to reiterate this again, you do not have to ask any of these questions or all of these questions. This is just something that I've tested out that has been working. So you can adjust it. I think what Brooke did in her form, which I have not seen her form, but my guess is she made it a little bit more conversational. So instead of doing like a multiple choice, she gave them a paragraph option. So you would go in here and say maybe like, what do you struggle with? Ow, caps lock, sorry guys. You know, as far as health and fitness or whatever, and then you can change it and do a paragraph answer. So they can keep typing and typing and just like kind of explain to you exactly what's going on with them. I find that I have luck with that with some people, and then other people are like 1 or 2 word answers and I have to dig a little bit deeper. So it depends on your preference, but that's why I did this multiple choice option. So you know, how long do you like to work out each day? How would you rate your nutrition? All of this is coming back to us being able to make recommendations that we have faith in. So, and I know Janelle mentioned this, and I think I'll mention it again in my slides in just a second, but this is basically how we have the form. Janelle recommended, I think we talked about this yesterday, having like a little checkbox that just says, I agree. I can't remember how you worded it, but it was, I agree that before beginning any fitness or nutrition regimen, I should consult with my doctor. Like that's my responsibility. Yes. I think that's super important because a lot of us are not experts and we don't pretend to be, and we should not pretend to be. That doesn't give us any less credibility as a coach, but you just want to have those disclaimers just in case. And you don't want anyone to say like, well, they told me this, and yeah, I've never had it be a problem, but I always like to give that disclaimer just so they know like, okay, but maybe this pain I'm having, I should go to the doctor for and not ask my coach about, you know what I mean? So I always ask like, when do you want to get started? It depends, you can change this however you want, but I just wanted to give you guys an example. So I'm gonna go in here and show you something that helped me that I could not figure out for the life of me for a long time, and one of my coaches helped me. So you're gonna click on responses, and you're accepting, it defaults to accepting responses. Click on these little 3 dots over here in the upper right-hand corner, and then click on get email notifications for new responses. If you don't click on that, you're gonna be checking your forms all the time. So it's a lot easier to go into your email and say like, okay, you have 2 new submissions into your Google form, and you just click on it, it'll take you right there. But if you don't, you will not get a notification and you will not know that you have a new form submission.
Good to know.
So that was, yeah, I was struggling with that. I was like checking back, and I was finally like, there's gotta be an easier way. I just have to be missing it. And that was it. So let's say we've completed this form. I just kind of want to give you an example. Let's see. So you want to click send. And that's not like, you're not instantly sending it somewhere. Don't worry about it. You just have to click send in order to find the link. You can send it to people via email if you want. I always get the link because I post it in the comments section of my call to action, or I send it via message, depending on the form, depending on the person, depending on the invite. So you have a link right here. You can shorten it What I do is I go into bit.ly, bit.ly, and I create my own little link. So you guys can, I think there's tinyurl, there's bit.ly. You don't have to do that. It just helps me organize it better. So you definitely can do that, or you can just share the form just like this. It doesn't matter. So that's how you're going to do the first step, which is creating your Google form.
I have a question, Hannah. When you go into Bitly, because I usually use tinyurl.com, I don't usually use Bitly, but just because, I don't know, I just never did. With tinyurl, I'm pretty sure you can make, like it can be like tinyurl.com/challenge group application.
Yeah.
Can you do that with Bitly as well?
Yeah, so I can open Bitly for you guys, I think. Let's see if this works. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so like my free group application, basically I just went to the top right and clicked create bit link, and then you paste your URL, and then it lets you, let me see if I can do this. We'll just play around with it, guys. Okay, so I hit copy, and then I went over here into Bitly and pasted it, and then it lets me say like testing. Obviously,
yeah, that's awesome, because then if you're out and about or whatever and you can't remember what that application is, or you're talking to someone, you can say, hey, you know, just go to bit.ly or bit.ly / you know, Hannah's application, and you know the link by heart because it's shorter. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. It makes it easier for me, and so just so you guys, I mean, you can use tinyurl too, either one, but being able to customize it can definitely help.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna X out of this one and go back to where we were. So I screen shared the Google Forms. If you guys have any questions specifically about Google Forms or about Canva, which we're gonna get into in a second, just post them in the Push to Daily Success, or not, I'm sorry, not New Name Coach Success group, either one. I'll see either one. But if you post it in there, because Janelle, we still can't see the comments, right?
Yeah, we can't.
Okay, so like right now, if you guys are asking questions on the right-hand side of your video, we're not seeing them. So just so you know, we're not ignoring you. We just don't see them. Okay, so I also wanted to show you Janelle's Jotform example really quick, and I can post that in the New Name Coach Success group too. But here's the link if you guys, you probably can't copy that obviously, but you can type out all those numbers if you really wanted to. But here's Janelle's from Jotform. So just so you guys have an idea of like different things you can do. This is the one you were talking about, right, Janelle?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Okay, so she got your email, she asked goals, what are your weaknesses? See how this is more like open-ended versus multiple choice? That's totally up to you guys. However you want to give people the opportunity to answer.
And what's funny, I was telling Hannah, you guys, I created this like, I don't know, maybe like a month ago. And I spent some time creating it, and I had just a lot of fun with it. And then I got distracted and I literally forgot about it. So I haven't even used it yet. So I can't even say like for sure, okay, I would change this, and I haven't even proofread it yet. But I did want Hannah to just like show it, you know, just as another example. And if you're wondering like where that background came from, I get that from haute-chocolate.ca, HAUTE chocolate.ca, and it's like a membership where they give you graphics like that.
Those graphics are amazing. Yes. I'm really excited that you have those. Okay, so here's an example with Jotform, and I did notice, I hadn't been in your Jotform in a while, their formulation, I can't think of the right word, but the way they set it up to where you can create this is getting more similar to Google Forms, which is kind of
cool.
I'm gonna X out of this part. I just wanted to show you guys that. So, okay, so you've created your challenge group form using whatever system that you want. Then you're gonna post your call to action, which there are tons of trainings on that. I'm not gonna really get into that part. But once you do, then the people who have commented or the people who have messaged you or however you want to do it, then you can send them this form. And then you respond. So like I said, number 3, you respond via personal message and give the form to fill out. I'm going to show you guys at the end of this kind of what Brooke said in her explanation too, just so you kind of have that as well. So here, let's see, number 4. So then you're going to create a PDF. I recommend doing it ahead of time, like I said, and then just tweaking it to suit you and to suit different customers, you know, because you may be like, oh, well, excuse me. You may be like, oh, well, this sounds better. So just play around with it. If you guys aren't familiar with Canva, I am obsessed with Canva. I think Janelle already knows that. My whole team knows that. I love canva.com. I do not love their app, just to let you guys know. I haven't tried it in a while, but I just find that it's so much easier to navigate on the computer. I create pretty much everything there. And it's pretty easy to follow. I'm not going to give you guys like a whole Canva tutorial, but I will show you kind of where to start and what I did to create this PDF. So I just want to tell you guys this ahead of time. I'll probably say it again, but you have to make sure that you download and send the document that you create in Canva as a PDF in order for the links to work. Otherwise, they will not work if you do like .jpeg or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to screen share this. So this is what my Canva looks like. It's kind of, there's a lot of stuff going on. And what I did was I went into more up here in the upper right. And I just kind of guessed based on the shape of Brooke's document that you shared, Janelle.
Yeah.
I guessed that she did US letter. Because if you're sending it as a PDF, you just want it to be a page, super simple. That's what I did. You could probably do anything else. Like the magazine, it's the same shape, so I don't know. I think a lot of this, basically, it just gives you different templates, which you can use those, but I didn't. I just created it from scratch. So I clicked on, let me show you what happens when you click on it, just in case you guys are unfamiliar with it. Do you see it, Janelle? Is it blank?
Yep, it's coming up. Yep, it's blank.
So over here on the left-hand side, Canva gives you like tons of options for different layouts and stuff. I'm going to give you guys a tip. I hope that Canva doesn't hate me for it. I will never pay for anything in Canva because it's so easily duplicated. If there was something else, you know, some sort of special graphic that I really needed to have, I would probably do it because it's only like $1 for a picture. But I have never in my history of Canva found the need to pay for a certain graphic, just so you guys know. So when you see the little $sign here on the bottom right, that means that some part of that layout is going to cost you money. It's probably the picture, but some of them are free. I just went and used a blank template. So I'm going to go back and forth and show you guys what I did, because a lot of you guys haven't seen the PDF that Brooke uses yet. So I'm going to go over here. This is what I based it off of. So this is what Janelle shared based on what Brooke shared in one of their groups.
Yeah, which was so nice of Brooke, by the way. Like I said, I don't know her personally. She just shared it within the 5-star and above wall. But that's what's great about this business. We all just share. Like, you know, we have the abundance mentality, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's so helpful. And I think it's really helpful for you guys to know, like, remember, do not get stuck in thinking that you have to make it look exactly the same. I actually recommend figuring out a way to make it look different and make it fit you. And I will honestly, I will use this, but I will probably tweak it even more than I already have. But this is what I went based off of just for this example. So in here, a lot of you guys asked, okay, what questions do I ask in the Google form or whatever? This is where the questions came from. So their goals, their current body versus goal body, their obstacles and challenges. This is just copied. What she did was she just copied and pasted their goals that they stated in the form. So you're not doing a ton of work there. You may have to summarize it a little bit, but you want to show that you've read through it, obviously, in order to make the recommendations. So this is what I created kind of based on that. So health and fitness plan recommendation 4, and then you just put their name in, copy and paste, like I said. So you're going to copy and paste their goals from the form. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you guys can maybe see the whole thing.
It's so pretty.
Thank you. So So that's what the current body type and goal body. Janelle and I talked about this in the beginning too. You don't have to do that. If you're not comfortable with that part, or you don't think it would help you make a recommendation, don't do it. You don't have to put it in there. Janelle had said that Corey doesn't use that part. I don't think I personally will use that part. It just depends on the person. If it's working for Brooke, then obviously that's what she wants to do. And I think Brooke, we don't know her, but I think she is some sort of a nutritionist or.
Yeah, I think she is.
Okay, so she would have more knowledge than I do based on her schooling. So she may want to ask different questions in order to make certain specific recommendations. I stick with making recommendations based on my trust in, the Beachbody trainers and the nutritionists and the research and development teams. So definitely, I don't think there's anything wrong with having your faith in that. So don't feel like you all of a sudden have to act like an expert. I actually put a disclaimer here at the bottom. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it. I just said, please note, I'm not a nutritionist or personal trainer. I'm making these recommendations based on blank, so you can kind of fill that in. I'm confident in these recommendations for you based on success stories. I trust the programs and supplements. This was just something that I typed up. Obviously, you can shorten it or whatever. But I just said, however, please do not take this. Actually, I said lease. I forgot the P. But do not take this as a replacement for a doctor or personal nutritionist recommendations. I think that kind of covers it. If you guys think there's anything that you should add or take away or whatever, that's totally up to you. But this is what the form looks like. Or the PDF, I guess I could say. So I want to show you guys, because I think a lot of people, you may have questions like, okay, well, how did you make it look that way? Honestly, with Canva, it's not difficult, but there is a little bit of learning curve as far as if you've never done it before, it's going to take you a little bit longer. So probably, I'll kind of show you here on the left-hand side, just a quick tutorial. I don't use layouts, like I said. I clicked on elements. I found the big pink square thing under shapes. Let me see, it's kind of being weird right now. There we go. So I clicked on frames in order to get this little laptop guy where you could put a picture. I also found these little square picture things under frames. The text, you just click on text. I don't use the stuff on the bottom because it sometimes doesn't situate exactly the way I would want to. If you like the look of one of these things, definitely use it. There's nothing wrong with that. So I just clicked like add heading. I typed in my heading. I changed my font, just kind of like in anything else. So these are the fonts that I used, but there are tons more. I think you can upload your own font in Canva if you have like the membership, which is pretty cool if you guys are into that. But, obviously, again, you do not have to do that.
How did you create that pretty pink box?
Oh, so I just went to, you mean the one like right here around recommendations?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I went to elements, and then I clicked on shapes. And I scrolled down until I found, oh, it's going to be slow. Hold on. I scrolled down until I found an empty box. And then you go up here on the left-hand side to change the color if you want.
Oh.
And then you just change it. Like, I personally kind of wish it was a little bit thinner, but I didn't find a thinner box, so I just kind of went with it.
It looks awesome. Thank you.
So you guys can do that with anything. You can reposition, change the color, however you want to do it. I like the ease of use in Canva, and it just gets easier the more and more you do it. I also like, if you want to put a picture in the background, this is probably something that you guys aren't wondering, but in case you are, in the background up here. So I took an image from my uploads. I clicked on it and it moved it over here. And then I clicked on crop because it was a bigger picture. It was like that big and I didn't want it to be that big. So it's pretty easy to crop things. And you just, oh shoot, what's going on here? That Pinterest button gets in my way all the time. So you just click the
And then how did you get your picture in that circle? So you probably went to elements, found a circle, and then once you have like a square or a circle, you can text in it or you can probably drag a picture into it.
Oh, actually, no, that's a really good question. So the easiest way, if you know you want to put a picture in it, you want to click on frames.
Okay.
So then I scrolled and found a circle with this little cloud image in it, and that's how you can add a picture. So say, let's see, I wanted to add, I'll just click something random.
So frames mean you're going to add a picture. Elements are just a shape that you can put text into.
Yep. Yeah, it'll either say shapes or frames. And you can do anything with the shapes. You can actually, what I do a lot of the time, if I will, for like the call announcements and stuff like that, I will just put a picture over top of a shape. So you can do that, but it just doesn't like default. So I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So I go into uploads, click on upload. Obviously yours may be empty. So you just click upload your own images from your computer. So say I wanted to upload this fruit picture. It just kind of ends up there. You know, you drag and drop it and it ends up there.
Cool.
Then you're going to click crop and you can move it around depending on whatever you want people to see. And then you can also change filters. I don't love their filters in here. I do sometimes make things brighter. So you can kind of adjust the brightness. You can do advanced options. So it's just like anything else with a filter. I just feel like it's not, I don't know, I just love the way like Instagram filters are so easy to use.
Yeah.
But you can click on like edge and that'll kind of change it. So they have defaults up here and they'll show you like exactly what they look like. So I'm going to delete that to get out of the way.
Awesome.
That is a good question.
Yeah, that came from Stacy Real. She said thank you. She says thank you. She texted me.
Okay, cool. So let's see. So I found, actually, that fruit picture and the picture of the shoes and stuff, that's from hotchocolate.ca as well. Those are just ones that I've saved from different images or different calls and stuff. So I didn't find like the perfect picture to go in here, but I want to show you guys something that Brooke recommended. She recommended creating links. And this is where like this whole thing kind of started, was you want to put links into this PDF so that they have them, so that they can watch a video and they can learn more about Shakeology if they want, or whatever else you want to tell them. You just go to, I don't know, let's say I have a cool Beachbody on Demand or like all access screenshot there. Let's just pretend, because I didn't find one yet. So you're going to click on the screen to watch the video. I don't know why I never used this before, but I was really excited about it. So you just click on this element and you can do it. I figured this out yesterday. You can do it with any element in Canva. I'm pretty positive. If you guys find another one, let me know, but I'm pretty sure you can do it with any element in Canva. So I clicked on here. See this little link guy? You just click on it and you add your link. So I went into my Coach Online Office earlier and added this link. So yours is going to obviously look a little bit different. So you copy that link, paste it right here, click apply, and it's there. So when you go to download this as a PDF, when they open it, they'll be able to click there. Brooke also recommended putting your links in for different products. So I'm going to show you hers because I think it makes more sense if you look at hers. So she had them click to watch the video just like that. If you guys can see I don't know if you can see my mouse.
If you click the picture, does it help it get a little bit bigger maybe? I mean, click the actual form.
No, it's still hard to see.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
I had to really scroll.
Yeah.
Like zoom in and everything to see and put my glasses on and everything in order to see like the words and stuff. but it worked. So I think, I'm not positive obviously because this is just something that she shared. It's not an actual PDF. But I think she probably linked them to Shakeology, like her Shakeology site. She probably linked them to Digestive Boost on her site. She probably linked them to Energize. So depending on what you're personally recommending for this specific person, you can link that to your site. And she recommended doing that because even if this person never answers you and you've taken the time to make this recommendation, that's okay. That's going to happen probably. But they may still come back later and be like, oh yeah, there was that Energized pre-workout thing. maybe I can just order that. And some people aren't going to ask you first. They're just going to go in and order it. And so it's going to be really nice for them to be able to just click on Energize, and it'll take them to your site. So she probably did that for 21 Day Fix. I'm not sure. Again, like I said, I can't click on it, but she did say, let me see if I can see it in the text. So she said, linking the products to your product links is important. You never know if they might ignore you, but come back later to purchase. So I thought that
you can get BB Links on your phone. It's an app called BB Links where you just put in your Coach ID and it gives you the links to every product and challenge pack and everything. Do you use that, Hannah?
Yes, I love. Yeah, I use BB Links all the time. So I would recommend that just because it makes it easier for you guys. So definitely BB Links to help you find different links and copy and paste it into your form. Let me go back there. So I did this for Shakeology. So I clicked on Shakeology. I clicked on the little link guy, and I went into my Coach Online Office and found the video where Tony is explaining like all the ingredients of Shakeology. And I put that there. So it's up to you. I mean, you could, I don't know which would be better. If we've already talked about Shakeology and I'm just like linking them to it, you can just send them to your site. But I also think it's kind of good for them to see what it is. So either way, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what would work better, but that's also an option. So I did want to say that, I'm not sure if I said this in the beginning. I'm going to go back and say where I'm at. Oh, here we go. Okay. So things to link to: all access challenge pack video, certain program product videos or links. The biggest tip is do not link to YouTube. So we talked about this yesterday a little bit. Use the specific video links in your Coach Online Office instead, simply because YouTube can become a vacuum and you never know what video they're going to click on next. And sometimes it's not always good. So do you have anything to add with that, Janelle? I know that you had like specific.
No, I'm just so glad you brought that up because it's so true. I mean, people can, watch something on YouTube and next thing you know, they're watching some person bashing something or something that's just completely not true. So you really do want to just link them to your online office.
Yeah, and it's so in your online office, guys, basically what you do is you go into your Coach Online Office, and then on the right-hand side underneath the Coach Breaking News, it'll say Video Library, and just click on English or Spanish, depending on what you need.
Yeah, and when you're watching a video in your online office, you'll see right below it, it says Share, and that's where it'll give you the link to that video.
Yeah, so I cannot I know that you guys probably feel the same way. It's so much easier just to go into YouTube and find a link. I'm totally guilty of this. I've done it with like 21 Day Fix and stuff where I'm just like talking to someone and I'm like, awesome, would you like to check out a video to see what this is about, to see if this is a good fit for you? And I'll send them the Beachbody, it's not anyone else's, it's just Beachbody's link to, or Beachbody's video about 21 Day Fix. So I've done it, but I definitely agree that you never know where they're going to go to next. And you never know if they're going to be connected to like some scammy thing where someone who had one bad experience is like making up crappy stories, and you just don't want that. So use your specific video links from your Coach Online Office instead. Okay, so I'm going to move on are there any more questions about this PDF form?
Nothing that has come through to my phone.
Okay, so I think there's just one thing I wanted to add. When you are done, you'll see right here, and this may be different for different computers, so don't hold me to this, but up here in the left-hand side, it says unsaved changes. I don't ever save anything if it says that. So I just click up here and I click enter. This is probably not the right way to do it, but then I just click don't reload. So then it saves. It just like defaults and makes it save. So when it says all changes saved right here, I go over and I'll click download, and then it defaults to PDF. So you're good. You just click download it to your computer, and you're good. Okay, so I want to test out one more thing, Janelle.
Okay.
Oh, maybe not. No, I might have deleted it. Never mind. I was going to show you the way it downloaded on my computer, so you could see how the links worked.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if this works. Is it still showing up as a preview?
Yeah, it came up. Yep.
Okay, so this is what you get. Obviously, it's going to look a little bit different when you've downloaded it because this one actually isn't done. And I do also want to mention to you guys, like, you don't have to do it like right side and left side. You can do like the top can be their goals, the bottom can be your recommendations. It does not have to look like this. So I wanted to show you this. So when I click on this in preview, it lets me click on Shakeology. Let's see if this works.
Wow.
I feel like I have so many tabs open right now, guys. So it'll take you to my specific video. Oh, but I don't have Flash installed on Safari. But anyways.
But that would have totally worked.
But it works, and it links to that video. And it just, for some reason, defaulted to Safari instead of Chrome, but that's okay. So just so you guys know, it works. You can test it out yourself before you send it to them. I actually probably would recommend that.
Oh yeah, that's a great tip. Definitely always test everything that you send to people.
Yeah, test your links because you just never know. I've done that before, where I think I'm sending them something that makes sense and it's totally not right. Okay, so number 5 is just you're going to add your response, recommendations, and disclaimers within that PDF. So, all right, you saw the PDF. I'll click on it again. Depending on your expertise and certifications, that's when you're going to add your recommendations. So not everything. Oh, I think I got rid of it. Not everything is going to look exactly the same because you're going to make different recommendations for each person. Now, I will say that typically with the resources that we have, I rarely recommend something other than the All Access Challenge Pack at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so what she said, and something that I really liked. So again, I'm just showing you the same thing that I showed you guys before. But you're going to change. You can change this however you want. You're going to change your recommendation. I don't know if I necessarily will include an estimated time frame. Janelle, you can chime in here if you want.
I'm not sure if I will either, to be honest. I might say, if they were to choose this program, this is about how long it would take, or if they were, just based on the program length, I might say something along those lines. But
okay.
And another thing is I might add the question about the strength of their Wi-Fi, because I know some people actually don't want to do BOD because they don't have good Wi-Fi. I know that still is a problem for some people, and they prefer to get the regular DVD challenge pack. So I might actually have a question about that, because if they're in a rural area, that could be an issue.
I've actually had a couple people have issues with that lately, so that's definitely a really good question to add. Probably in the Google form instead of here, though.
Yes, yeah. Definitely in the Google form. Yeah.
So here's something that Brooke said, and I kind of adapted it and made it my own a little bit. But I really liked how she said, and this obviously will be different if you're not recommending Beachbody On Demand, but she said Beachbody On Demand will give you tons of variety, and we will chat about the best fitness program for your goals, or multiple using a hybrid program, depending on, whatever, once you commit. I really liked that because you don't have to dig deep. I mean, depending on the person, sometimes you just know what program you think would be great for them, and sometimes you don't. But you don't want that to hold you back from making the recommendation that you want to make. So I may talk to someone, and I always let my customers know, like, once you're done with whatever first program I recommended, let me know how it went, and then we'll do it again. We'll talk about your goals now. We'll talk about, maybe you added some equipment. Maybe you want to try something different. You always want to emphasize, like, yes, you have tons of options, but I'll help you figure out the best program for your goals. So, because some people will just go around and play in Beachbody On Demand, and that's cool. I like to do that sometimes, but I also think for like a new customer, they need to follow a program.
Yes.
So that was something that I really liked that she added. Okay, so we're on my last slide, guys. Bear with me. So then you're going to email your response to them and attach the personalized PDF that you just downloaded to your computer. Here is another thing I almost forgot to tell you guys. So make a copy of your template in Canva so that you retain the original template. What do I mean by that? That probably sounds really confusing. Okay, so say right here, obviously it's not showing me the preview right now, but see right here, it says sample health and fitness plan. Maybe yours says health and fitness template. You want that to stay the same. You want to have that template you can go back to. You don't want to have to go in and make changes on somebody else's. I mean, maybe you do, maybe it's easier for you. It totally is up to you. But to me, it's so much easier to just click on this little arrow guy and click make a copy.
Oh,
and then you can put like Janelle's health and fitness plan, or whoever your customer is. So then it's exactly the same. You're gonna click on it. I'm gonna delete these guys so we're not so busy up here. So then I'm gonna go in here and write, like I'll write her name. I'll put in her goals. So that's how you cater it to them. To me is just the easiest way, because then you always have that template. If your Canva gets super bombarded with different things, then you can go in and move it to trash. Like, you don't have to keep it all on your Canva. Obviously, if you have it downloaded, if you have a personalized PDF for each person on your computer and you've sent it to them, you don't have to keep it in Canva too. So in the email, I know a lot of people were asking, so I'm kind of moving on from the PDF to the email, guys, just so you know. But a lot of people were asking, like, what do I say? I have no idea what Brooke says. I have no idea, like, what specific coaches say in their emails. But I think the keep it simple method is probably the best one to follow. And you don't have to make it like extravagant. You want to let them know that there's a deadline date to retain their spot, obviously, like however much time you want to give them, like, hey, can you check this over? Reply back and let me know when you've received it, and we'll move on from there. I will reserve your spot for 48 hours. Excuse me. Totally, like, whatever you want to say. But I think it's really important to include that deadline date, because it may just sit in their email otherwise. Okay, let's see. So yeah, I said email template will vary depending on their responses and recommendations. Just like Brooke said in her text that you shared with us, Janelle, just be excited for them. Let them know, you're excited to get started. You're excited to help them. Keep it short and just ask them to respond as soon as possible. Is there any questions associated with that, Janelle, do you think?
I think Brooke said she sends them a Facebook voice memo, and Corey said she does that as well, saying, hey, just so you know, there should be an email in your inbox. And I think that's kind of a nice touch too. And Corey said that with her PDF where she's sending back the recommendation, she, instead of just copying and pasting their responses, she changes the wording to say, you said you wanted to lose 30 pounds, or whatever it was they said. So she's not putting words in their mouth. She is copying and pasting it. It's just that she's changing it to say, you said you wanted to lose this weight. You said you wanted to have a cleaner eating habits. Like, she kind of changes it, because with Brooks, it says something like, I want to have cleaner eating habits. I want to lose, so she changed it to say, I don't know if I'm making sense, but I feel like that is a good idea. That makes it seem, even more personal.
No, I think that definitely makes sense. I think that's a really good idea, guys. So definitely consider that. Just say, like, you said, and especially, like, for me, that helps because you guys saw my form, I use multiple choice. So I'm obviously not just going to list it all out. It's going to be a little bit more personal if I say, you said you struggle with this, this, and this.
Yes.
You mentioned that you have this at home or whatever. So I think that's an awesome idea. And then, so yeah, number 7 is like Janelle said. So you're going to connect with them. So yes, you have emailed them, but you want to connect with them and let them know that you sent the email. It's not overkill. I think, like you said, Janelle, I think it's like sending them a quick voice memo and say, like, hey, check your email inbox, or let me know if you don't see it, because you never know if it's going to go to spam or something like that. So yeah, connect with them and let them know you sent it. That's just another little touch of communication that I think people appreciate. And then my last tip, number 8, is to send the link to order after they commit. So once they've said, like, yes, I'm ready, this is awesome, I'm excited, then you would go into your BB links, or however you share links. And I'm just going to use the All Access Challenge Pack as an example, because it seems, it's most common. Then I'm going to go into that and send them the direct link to the Beachbody On Demand All Access Challenge Pack. I'm surprised I said that without, like, stumbling.
I'm impressed.
But so don't send, like, I do not recommend putting that particular link in the PDF you send them. I recommend waiting until they commit.
I agree. You want to, because you want to be able to follow up, and you want to hear what they thought and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so I think that's it. I think I'm done.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome, Hannah.
Should I unshare? I gotta figure out how to unshare my screen. Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
Hello. That was so good. I'm so excited about this, especially knowing this works and it's effective and it helps us help more people. And you know, like I said, I've heard from other coaches in the wall, and like I said, I talked to Corey about it this morning, and she's like, this has helped me huge. So, and it's something that can be applied to, like I said, free groups and even joining your team, having an application to join your team. Now, it's not the first time we've heard about forms, for sure it's not, but I don't know, there's just something about the way that this was laid out, and you know, the whole sending back a PDF, it really clicks. It makes sense. I'm getting text messages already right now. My phone is blowing up. People are loving it. So, Hannah, thank you so much. I knew you'd be perfect for this.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad I got out of my comfort zone a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
My cat has to be in every video. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. We want to see your cat.
Sorry. So yeah,
right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for getting on. I hope that you love this. I hope you'll send it to all your coaches, because this could be huge for some coaches that have been sitting on the fence and not really doing anything with their business, and they felt like, I really don't get it, or I really don't have time to go back and forth. And I get it, because when I started this business, I was working full time. I was super busy, and it does take a lot of time to go back and forth. And then you got to track everything. This really makes things much just more automated and clean, and yet still gives the person on the other end the same experience, which is what we want. We want them to get results. So love this idea, love this training. Thank you so much for getting on, guys. Share it with your teams. Let us know if you have any questions in the Coach Success Facebook group, and we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.